You may recall in an earlier video I had a problem with my Black 5 on this radius that kept stalling, sort of jamming. It just didn't want to run properly. So I discovered that I actually had the radius incorrect for this vehicle. So that means that my second track was also wrong and my third track was wrong. So it all had to come up and it's all being relayed. Now that was a bad event, but turned out to be a good event, because subsequently about 6 weeks ago I injured my knee, and so therefore I could no longer crawl underneath the lift out section that then been screwed down. So what I had to do then is to do something about the lift out section. Let me just get rid of my Black 5. Go on, Black 5, round you go. That's it, lovely. Thank you very much, Black 5. Okay, that's all of that out of the way. Thank goodness for that. So the next stage in the operation was to see what I could do with the lift out section, and what I decided to do, using first of all copper clad sheets that I got from Maplin's. Okay, so it's only copper on the one side, very similar to what they use when they do making sleepers, copper clad sleepers, but these I had to cut out myself. So the idea is, if I can get these around the right way, that will go in there. This one that I made earlier will go in there. Okay, now they're going to be very close together, really nice, a really nice good match. And then I will then pin them down to where they are and super glue them as well. Now in this one here, this is just a little bit out, and what that needs in there is maybe one or even maybe two. It might need 2 little 1/2 millimeter strips of card to get it all looking right. Now before I can do that, I have to make sure that this is right. So I have to make sure that this is going to be correct. So that this is one I made myself. It works, and what I'm going to do now off camera, I'm now going to tack this track down all the way down to over here where it joins my secured section over here, and then I will be able to do the copper section here, because this is going to be in the correct place. So come back in a few minutes. What I've done so far, I've pinned this end and the middle, and I pinned that end, and just final check to see how the old girl goes round, and yep, no problems, working well, good. Okay, so what I will do next with my trusty ball peen, it's tedious job, has to be done, but now it's in the right place. I will carry on, put all the nails in all the way around. I'm now going to super glue this onto the cardboard that I put on there earlier, and one has to be quite quick with this. One has to make sure one's fingers don't get stuck like one's fingers did when I did that one. I do think that that is going to be my best position. I am going to have to stick to that. Okay, we'll let that set, and then we'll get the soldering on. Oh, I'll pin those. I've pinned these already. I'll pin those two down, and then we get the soldering iron, and we'll start soldering these tracks down to where it is. I have to tell you, I'm not the best solderer in the world. In fact, up until about 4 or 5 months ago, I couldn't solder to save my life. All I've learnt from other people is clean. Make sure it's clean. If it's clean, you stand a reasonable chance. I flux it. People say they don't like flux, but flux I'm using. And now I have to look at that. Oh, see what I mean? Not good. I want to get it to flow underneath the rail, then it's completely fixed to the bottom. Now, after using the super glue, you may wonder why I actually pinned it as well. That's because the super glue is glued to the baseboard via the foam backing, and that could also move, and the piece of cardboard itself, that could move as well. So that's why I pin it at the same time. Okay, well, that's my first terrible joint. I'll do the rest while you're not looking. There we go. Best soldering job I can do. Absolutely terrible compared to what other people can do. Nice little steel thing to clean it up. Now, I did have on the inside just there, I had a little bit of solder just on the inside, and I've got this funny file. I don't know where I got it from, but it's absolutely superb, just for gently running in there and getting that little bit of raised inside, just to clear that completely. Now all I've got to do is cut the rail and I can lift it out. Okay, brand new Dremel, my other one burnt out, 42 quid, no case, eBay, bargain. If everything goes according to plan, the next bit is going to be a miracle, and this, I hope, is the next bit. Just hold on. Beautiful. Okay. Oh, that won't go back in. Yes, it will. I've got something in the way now. What have I got in the way? There we go. Right. So there we are. Now I'm going to embarrass myself by bringing up the black 5 again and making sure it clears everything. Be back in a minute. And this is to confirm that it does go around really well. Lovely, job done. Time for a cup of tea. Just a couple of things you may not have seen. My homemade tools. This is a small device for holding track if I'm going to solder to it, and also I can hold my wires there if I'm going to solder on the end of it. Quite easy. It was just simple little, can't get it out now, typical, isn't it? Anyway, I think this one comes out, there we go. So basically that's all it is, and an old breadboard as this was, and just a hole drilled, put it in. You can put them anywhere you like. I also made my own grass sieve out of one of those zappers, and just cobbled it together, and it did quite well. My very first attempt, I'm going to swing round now, so close your eyes. My very first attempt was here as a little test, and I thought, well, do you know, that is quite good. I do like that. Going into siding or something like that, you know. And all of a sudden it makes it look half decent. I was quite happy with that as well.